Hi everyone, welcome to another video about the Ultimatum Queer Love on Netflix. This time we're going to focus on Mal and Yoly and see how Mal fails to navigate through Yoly's sea of contradictions. So as per usual, these are my disclaimers. I've seen the finale and the reunion, so spoiler alert. And I understand that it is an edited TV show. I'm only analyzing these people based on what we've been shown. I don't claim to know any of them fully. Furthermore, I am also only commenting on their behaviors and decisions at a particular time point in their lives. Everyone is capable of learning and growing if they choose to. So at the start of the show, Mal had a lot of reservations about going into marriage with Yoly. And I think the main driver for Mal to procrastinate on proposing is this. Mal has never really felt truly secure with Yoly. Something isn't really adding up in her head about why Yoly would choose her as the one.
I mean, I knew her as a friend before I knew her as a lover. Every time she's talked about another lover, it's been very similar. And you've talked about your lovers so great, same tenacity, same boisterous way. So I'm just like, why me?
Mal has known Yoly for a total of 5 years, first as a close friend and then as a partner. And she's observed Yoly's patterns of falling in love hard and fast. In addition to this, she's mentioned that everyone before Mal that Yoly's fallen in love with has been white, which makes Mal an anomaly.
I feel like Xander is like my direct insecurity of what your type is and what your type has been with dating white women in the past.
Yeah.
For Mal, love needs to make sense because she has TI introverted thinking in her personality type. And TI does not believe in exceptions to the rule until a good reasoning is presented. In this experiment, Yoly is the one that gives Mal the ultimatum. She effectively puts the pressure on Mal and blames her for the problem being we're not moving forward.
At what point are we joining this journey of life together? I wouldn't put up with anybody else's bullshit for this long.
The goal is set for Mal to sort herself out so that she can marry Yoly. And Mal never actually veers off this goal. In the trial marriage with Lexi, Mal fully immerses herself emotionally with Lexi.
You helped me realize that we could be engaged and we can build the things that we want together. And I don't have to show up like everything to take care of you. We can do this together.
Yeah, so I didn't just change your timeline, I ripped your
Revolutionized
timeline.
my whole world. Like, should we leave this thing engaged?
Oh, so you think there's a chance that you could leave and we could be engaged?
Sure.
But made sure to keep certain clear boundaries, like limiting physical intimacy, because her ultimate goal is to learn from Lexi in order to move forward with Yoly. The goal is always Yoly.
In the physical sense, I'm not trying to consummate another relationship. I thought it would confuse things.
And then after Lexi, when she moves back in with Yoly for 3 weeks, Mal is fully focused on Yoly and expects the same focus from Yoly on her. No Lexi and no more Xander. Mal works through problems through compartmentalising. Because for Mal, emotions cloud judgment.
It really sucks for me to be like leaving.
Well, you're not going anywhere for me. I don't want this to end.
I don't know how to deal. I don't know how to best deal with what's happening. I tend to pull away from like the people that I love because it hurts to know what we're doing. It's really me just trying to protect myself.
Yoly triggers Mal because she cannot compartmentalize.
Are you sad?
I think it's just like I'm not sad, it's just like weird.
Okay.
It's really fucking weird.
What's weird about it?
I had a whole ass relationship with somebody else. And I don't know, I guess
Unlike Mal, who makes a conscious effort to keep things very separate and clean, Yoly makes no attempt at separating Mal and Xander. She repeatedly brings Xander up with Mal during Mal's 3-week marriage trial.
I fell in love with Xander. I didn't think it would happen. We did have sex. And I really found someone who connects in that way, in so many levels. And then I have you.
And she also constantly makes contact with Xander, perpetuating their romantic bond. Mal would feel like she was never really given a fair chance.
Yoly had asked for a selfie, and it was just like there were a few things that made me uncomfortable. Like,
What?
I don't miss you.
This shit is not easy. I need you to know.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not.
I'm not okay either.
It's like not. Listen. Wake up.
Another interesting point is how Mal responds to feelings with solutions. Yoly is constantly saying that she is confused emotionally because she's in love with both Xander and Mal in different ways but with equal intensity. Mal sees this as a problem to be solved. She's constantly asking Yoly, "What can I do to help you decide faster between us? Let me show you how committed I am by doing this and that. Let me show you how uncommitted Xander is by putting her on the spot. And look, she's not choosing you."
And I was just asking you, Xander, I'm curious to know if you choose Yoly the same way I choose Yoly.
I mean, no, because that's not the history that we have.
But do you choose her?
I'm choosing myself right now.
Fair.
Whereas Yoly is actually asking for time to just feel and let her emotions marinate, i.e., there is nothing that Mal can actually do. In fact, the more Mal does, the more Yoly sees it as Mal taking away her autonomy to feel. And Mal doesn't understand this concept.
If she chooses you, I still choose Yoly. Like, that's my person. And I just want to know if you choose her the same way. And she said, I don't know. I can't answer that. She didn't choose you, Yoly.
You're literally taking the choice away from me.
I'm not.
You're taking my autonomy away from me because I'm not ready to make a choice.
I never took away from that.
Something frustrating that I've noticed is that Yoly won't ever let Mal go, and Mal seemingly cannot walk away from this relationship on her own either.
Is Xander your hell yes?
I can't say that, but I will say that it doesn't seem as cloudy.
As much as you deserve your hell yes, I also deserve my hell yes. And if I'm like you're kinda, or like maybe it could be and I love her so much, but possibly, if I'm not that, then let me go.
What if I don't want to let you go?
Mal is unable to walk away by herself and gives all the power and agency for Yoly to decide their relationship's fate because Mal has FE extroverted feeling child function in the third position with FI introverted feeling blind spot. FE types need to make reference outside of themselves in order to know how they feel and what they themselves value. FI blind spot means that they neglect to reflect on their own feelings and own personal preferences. Hence, it's very difficult for Mal to walk away from this relationship because her tendency, her default, is to base her whole decision heavily on Yoly's feelings and Yoly's reaction. And Yoly is saying that she doesn't want to let her go.
I cannot imagine how hard this is to be in your position. At all. But I'm asking you to not just like give up. I'm not trying to give up. I'm here.
Mal is unable to end the relationship on her side because FI introverted feeling blind spot prioritizes looking after the emotions of other people over their own, especially when the other person is expressing bigger feelings as well. So Yoly's constant expression of emotional distress, like, oh, I don't know who to choose, it compels Mal to look after her and to want to make Yoly feel better.
My ego hurts. But like, I don't unlove you. You can fall in love with somebody else and I can still be your person. Those two things can exist.
I don't know what it looks like.
We can figure that out as the days go on. I don't know, I just hurt for you. It sucks to watch you be so sad.
Because Yoly never lets Mal go, Mal is then compelled to keep pushing, keep actioning, and keep problem solving.
Okay, I'll show up the way I'm showing up and I'll make that consistent because I can do that. I can commit to that. We go to intimacy therapy. I can commit to that and we can get through that.
Which then leads her to ultimately propose to Yoly because that's literally the last thing left to do. My personal observation is that TI introverted thinking dominant types tend to be quite optimistic about human nature and relationships because TI thinks that there is a solution for every problem. They forget that people, humans, feelings can all be quite irrational. The only problem with compartmentalizing is that once your goal is achieved, the feelings do catch up eventually. Mal's goal was to secure Yoly in marriage and therefore not lose her to Xander. However, once that goal has been achieved, the feelings of resentment and anger do catch up, and we find out that their relationship was ultimately not sustainable.
So where are you now?
Happily broken up.
And how quickly after you left this experience did you feel like things were turning in that direction?
2 weeks.
My opinion is that Mal should have never proposed to Yoly in the first place because a good marriage, a good union does not start with having to beg someone to stay. Yoly is clearly no longer that committed to Mal. I mean, she's still telling Mal how in love she is with Xander practically 2 minutes after accepting Mal's proposal.
It's really pretty. What you said was beautiful. But I feel like I would be dishonest if I didn't say that if you had not shown up exactly the way you have, I would be very pressed to explore life with somebody else that wants what I want, how I want it, when I want it, and chooses me. Xander very much wants to go forward with me and explore that.
Emotionally, Yoly was already 1 foot out the door, so marriage was definitely not in the cards at that point. So I think Mal's draw towards Yoly is because when people are problem solvers, people who like a bit of a challenge, they tend to be attracted to difficult and unsolvable problems. Yoly puts Mal into a spiral of problems that are seemingly solvable and then tell Mal that it's her responsibility to solve these problems, basically sending her off to a wild goose chase. Mal's dominant functions, SE and TI, compel her to constantly act and constantly look for solutions. This is my little summary of what happened with Yoly and Mal. So first, Yoly is like, actually, you're not even a responsible adult. You're not, really showing me you're a responsible parent. Your finances are not in check. IVF is expensive. And look, you leave the house in a mess. How can I trust you?
But if it was just me, if I didn't want children, no problem. I can deal with her messiness, or I can deal with her inconsistency, and I can deal with being annoyed because it's just me.
So Mal is like, okay, I'll start saving. I could show you that I could be a responsible parent.
Multiple people have asked me to be their godparent.
And it's beautiful.
But that's because I do show up responsible.
Next, Yoly says, but actually, I really love Xander as well. Oh my God, I'm so distressed. I don't even know what to do anymore. How do I decide? And then Mal is like, okay, let me help you expedite your decision by interviewing Xander. Oh, see, Yoly? I went to ask Xander. Xander isn't actually choosing you. I am choosing you. Here's your answer. But you're taking away my autonomy from me. And then lastly, Yoly's like, Xander seems like a less cloudy decision. And then Mal's like, you obviously don't want me? Fine, then let me go. But what if I don't want to let you go? Why are you giving up so easily, Mal? I'm not giving up. Don't give up. Don't give up? I'm already doing everything you asked. I've been consistently here for you. You're still in love with Xander, but you're not letting me go. What do you want?
What are you talking about, Yoly? Do you want niggas to die for you? You want to see both of us fight for you and bleed so you can see who actually died for me and who didn't? I'm going to pick that person. Is that what you want?
No.
What do you want from me?
The reality is, Yoly fell in love with Xander because Xander makes her feel good right now. And feelings don't need to make sense. However, Yoly knows how bad and ironic that would look because she was the one that gave Mal the ultimatum, and she was the one that accused Mal of non-commitment.
What is the oh shit part?
The oh shit was me falling in love with Xander.
So she tries to cover her back by digging into her kind of so-called logic, the practicalities, what makes sense, finances, the cost of IVF, Mal's apparent incompetence as a parent. And this is TE, extraverted thinking, which is her lowest function. And we often dig into our lowest function when we are desperate, when we are in a corner, when we are stressed. You can see how Yoly contradicts herself when you juxtapose what she says to Mal before Xander.
But Mal has expressed to me that she wants to have the money for the rig, money for the house, money for the kids, money for the kids' education before even taking the next step.
And after Xander.
Finances.
I'm not judging you based on your fucking bank account, but like IVF is a very real possibility.
Have I not shown up that way?
Are you starting to save for it?
Yes.
You're not doing that. You have not done that.
And look, this is an emotional minefield, a very tricky situation. I understand that feelings cannot be helped, and in many ways, I think Yoly and Xander make way more sense as a couple. They are way more compatible. That is not what I'm criticizing.
For what we saw and how palpable it was, you almost deserve to try.
What I am criticizing is that what made Yoly look like the bad person here is how she handled that situation. Instead of berating Mal for being inadequate, the better thing to do for Yoly was to fully immerse in her top function, FI hero, introverted feeling, which is to be vulnerable, to be real with her feelings, to admit to Mal that yes, she is the idiot here. That yes, she's ready to start something new with Xander because she can't help her feelings. That she is sorry for bringing Mal onto the show. That she is sorry for accusing Mal for being the one that's not committed. When this experience has proved that Mal was right about Yoly, that Yoly herself does fall in love easily and deeply, and that there was a joint responsibility in terms of why they haven't progressed to marriage.
Walking into the choice, I can definitely see Yoly falling for somebody and fully leaning in. But I don't think Yoly understands the severity of the ultimatum she has placed on me, how that might backfire on her.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you found it helpful or interesting, then please share it with a friend or someone you care for, as well as like and subscribe. If you would like us to analyze and figure out your personality type and explore how it affects your decision making, communication, and relationship with others, then please find booking details in the description box below.